Jay here, Stretford, Paddock, and this is the big debate. We're asking the question, should Cristiano Ronaldo stay at Old Trafford or should he go? Joining me are two of my favourite co-presenters. I've got Ronaldo Brown. How are we doing?
I'm like your seventh favourite.
You're not the seventh favourite. You're joint fourth. Right? Come on, son. You're in those Champions League places. And also the Housewives' favourite, Mr. Alex Baggers.
Am I also joint fourth? Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. Why is he the Housewives' favourite?
Listen, don't ask me. Ask my in-laws. That's all I know is Alex Bagley is very popular in parts of Ireland. Right, anyway, we'll move on to the debate. Now, this would have seemed absolutely off our rocker to be debating this a year ago about Ronaldo staying or going. We've got him for 2 years. Great, he's a fantastic player. He's arguably the greatest of all time, but it isn't really working out. He wants to go, according to all the reports. His body language isn't great. And also there's the fact that we've got a new manager in. We haven't had a good season. We haven't got Champions League football. Is it time for him to move on? We've got two opposite opinions here. Ronnie, I'm going to start with you. Should Cristiano Ronaldo go this summer, this transfer window, or should we keep hold of him?
I think the simple answer to that is he should go because he doesn't want to be here.
Right, okay.
And that could pretty much be end of the debate, but...
Right, okay, well, thanks for joining us. Make sure you all subscribe. We've ended the debate. That's pretty much the end of it. Thanks for that.
Nah, but you don't... We want to start moving away from that kind of mercenary culture. We don't want players to be here that don't want to buy in.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? We need a bit of a more of a team-orientated mentality and not an individual. And I respect him to the fact that he's at the latter stage of his career. He wants to still be playing in the Premier League, still be challenging for the biggest trophies, and he doesn't obviously think he could do that at United right now.
Yeah.
So if he wants to leave, then he should. But I also think United shouldn't be going into a season like this, which is meant to be the beginning part of a Ten Hag rebuild, with a 38-year-old striker anyway being the main focal point up front. As good as Ronaldo is, I think the structure and the tactics that Ten Hag kind of wants up front, I think it might suit a bit more of a versatile forward, because we even found out like a few weeks ago, Ten Hag did come out, he said he wanted to look for a bit more of a versatile forward.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's essentially someone that's an out-and-out number 9 or someone that can be all the way across the 3. I'm not quite sure, because I do still think we need an out-and-out striker, but I think we need to be younger in that space anyway, because I think recently United have gone for a little bit of short-termism, a little bit too much in that area when it comes to like Cavani, and then you've obviously got Ronaldo, you had Ibra, even though Ibra did relatively well when he was there in the last stages. And then obviously Lukaku didn't really work out. It doesn't seem like United have had an out-and-out striker do really, really well since Van Persie. And I think United need to be a place where we get a striker that's young and ascending, and then you've either got resale value or you've got like a good 5, 6, 7 years of top forward play. And I think that's the very least Manchester United should have at the football club. And I think what's happened is going for these short-term Cavani's and Ronaldo's recently has prevented us from getting the young and up-and-coming strikers like in the market when they would have been cheaper.
Yeah.
Because we've obviously seen Núñez go to Liverpool, we've seen Haaland go to City, and it seems all the young and up-and-coming strikers have been kind of nipped by the bigger clubs doing smarter business with a little bit more floor to ceiling rather than just going the finished article. That's my opinion on it in general anyway. I think he should go.
Baggers, forget what he said. Give us your case for what you believe, whether Cristiano Ronaldo, not Ronaldo Brown, should stay or go at the club. Why you think either of those?
I do tend to agree with Ronaldo in the fact that he's 38.
I just said forget what he said.
No,
the first thing you've said is
I do tend to agree.
You to make your case.
I tend to agree with him.
Right.
And if this had been decided end of May, as soon as the season finished, Ronaldo, you're gone. You go into Napoli or let's go Madrid.
Yeah.
Done. Ten Hag doesn't want it. Doesn't fit in. Cool. Let's move on.
Yeah.
But it's not. We start the season on Sunday. We've got Anthony Martial as our other striker. I think he's had a brilliant pre-season. But even if we signed, I think Cisco we've kind of been rumoured to sign, going into a season with a 19-year-old Anthony Martial isn't enough. And look, we want to be all patient with this rebuild and all that kind of stuff. But every single person who's been on this channel saying what's successful this year has said we need to win a trophy.
Yeah.
And to do that, you need someone who can score goals in big games. Now, I don't think Ronaldo should be starting week in, week out. I do not think he should be, because I don't think we've seen in pre-season how fluid that front three's been. We saw in that short time in the pre-season game that he played, it didn't quite look right. But if we are going to win trophies this year, we need someone that can score us a goal now and again. And that can be Cristiano Ronaldo. I think that it's too late in the window now to go out and buy 2 or 3 forwards. I think we'll get one in if we're lucky. If we can either get this Sesko, Anthony, someone like that, it might not be a centre forward. We've not got enough to get enough goals to cover where Cristiano Ronaldo moves off from. Now, it's going to be the toughest job Ten Hag has to mould him into a team and go, you ain't starting this game. I'm starting with Anthony Martial. I'm starting with Marcus Rashford. I'm doing whatever I'm doing because this is what fits.
Yeah.
But if we're going to be successful this season, and that isn't top 4 and things like that, if we're going to be the cup team, which, to be honest, we're going to have to be successful, to get some pots, to win in the League Cup and things like that, we need someone who can score a goal out of nothing. And Cristiano Ronaldo has been that one. He did it last year still. And I'm thinking he needs to be this season.
I'm just more talking about the kind of harmony of the squad. He did come and he disrupted the squad a little bit, and that was not just negatively though. Some of it was positive in terms of bringing back a bit of a more of a winning mentality.
Expectation.
Yeah, a bit more in terms of, he said that it's the general principles of United Football Club that he was used to when we were winning things wasn't there anymore. So he did kind of try and restore order. He did hold players to account, which was helpful. But I don't know. He's a big personality, and he has got a sizable ego, which you'll rightfully have if you're as good as him. But I don't know. I feel like when I was watching the front 3 in the preseason, it looked so fluid and it looked so much more energetic in terms of the press and whatever. I don't know how Ronaldo can do that week in, week out for United, and I'm not sure whether there's a sense of freedom some of the players might play with when he's not playing. I don't know. We just looked a little bit better in that sense. And I don't know if that's... Pre-season is obviously a very short sample size. The games aren't always that accurate when it comes to actual competitive football.
Yeah.
Ronaldo is an out goal scorer. He will score goals in big games. But we can't just be looking at this season. It's got to be like a bit of a long-term thing as well when it comes to... And I don't know whether... It's only... If we do have Ronaldo, it's going to be for one more season.
Yeah.
How much he helps us, I'm not quite sure, because I think United have a relatively low ceiling anyway when it comes to the league campaign or in general. And I think top 4 is the maximum that we could probably achieve. Liverpool and City are miles ahead. I know there's a bit of disruption around the other clubs. I kind of dwelled on it a little bit later from what Alex said. I do think I have a little bit more question marks about Chelsea now than I did before I spoke to you earlier. So I do agree. I do agree with you on that. But I'm looking at the teams above us, and I'm thinking, if United are in a position to really challenge and really be a force, then keeping him would make sense, because he could make that little bit of difference. But I don't think he's going to make enough of a difference for United to be like anything remotely relevant in like a title race, or do you know what I mean?
My worry is here though, with what Baggers is saying there. Are we not in a position where we're sort of almost stuck with him? Because if you like listen, I get the argument that you're making about Ronaldo moving on. That you're making about Ronaldo moving on, but you know, Martial, Rashford, Ilanga, Sancho had what? 12, 13 goals between them in the Premier League last season, or in whatever, not even that. Now,
I just don't.
And also, out of those players, I'd say only Anthony Martial is a number 9. Now, if you suddenly are sort of relying on Anthony Martial, not only to get you all the goals from a number 9, but to stay fit as well, and to stay motivated and focused and keep his form up. If anything happens to him, if his form drops off, if he gets injured, who's coming in then? Because you haven't got Mason Greenwood, you haven't got Edinson Cavani.
No, but I don't think United don't sign anyone if he goes though.
Right, you think
that's the thing?
Comes
like I don't see a situation where United let Ronaldo go and then don't get another forward in. It'd be very, very foolish if they didn't. I'm more worried about United not signing a forward because Ronaldo stays, and then that does put you another season behind. It puts you another transfer market behind.
But do you think we're panicking a little bit with this signing of a forward in the case?
No, we aren't because we've been needing to sign a young budding forward for about 3-4 years now.
On that as well, do you think that a 19-year-old coming in does the same? I mean, not the same job, but do you think this lad comes in and can hold the weight of being Manchester United's forward, especially with Martial? If Martial has got a lot of pressure on him, we loaned him out last year and he was shocking the years before. If he falls off a little bit, if he gets injured, now you've got a 19-year-old up front and you've got no other option. For me, I'd have both. I think I'd still sign the new lad and have Ronaldo around. Still.
I agree. Look, I think we should sign Sesko anyway, whether he stays or not.
But I think this is down to the manager now. Look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer I thought was progressing all right, and I think he gambled a bit, and I think maybe he got forced Ronaldo on him. He wasn't strong enough to say to Cristiano Ronaldo, "You're not playing." He tried it once, and it all fell through. The Everton game, the fallout of that. You have to be strong enough to say you aren't playing this week.
Well, Rangnick was strong enough to say it on a couple of occasions, and that didn't go down well either.
No, but But Rangnick being there for 6 months was never going to hold that. I think the hierarchy at Man United, even now, Ten Hag, you can see is above Ronaldo. You've seen it in that game. He's going, "You're doing what I'm doing." You can feel there's a bit of control over that Ten Hag's got, and the hope is that if he can manage him in case of luck, do you want to get back in the Champions League? Come and do this with us for a season. Sign your year contract. You can score your 10 goals in Champions League this season.
But Ronaldo's eyes, he hasn't got 1 year to waste if he's 38. Do you know what I mean? In the Europa League.
He's not winning the...
That's his thing.
Ten Hag's got to sell him. He's not winning the Champions League this year, whoever he goes to, because he ain't going to any of the big clubs that are going to win the Champions League.
Exactly.
He's going to score 4 goals in the group stages for Atletico Madrid and get knocked out. What does that do for your career? I think that if Ten Hag can actually grab him and say, "Look, you can be part of this project and do a good job for us," he has to be strong with it. You have to be bigger than what Rangnick did, bigger than what Solskjaer did. It could all go wrong. If he says, "I'm playing, I'm doing this," and he spits his dummy out and it's all over, I can see that happening. But going into the season with Anthony Martial and a young 19-year-old we're hoping to get in frightens me, because I think that we're all on this. We're going to be patient. We like what Ten Hag's doing and all that. We don't win a pot, or if we finish 5th with nothing else this season, Ten Hag, they're going to be asking for him to go.
I don't think there's any scenario, though. I don't think there's any scenario where Ronaldo's fine with being told you're not playing.
We saw it the other day with Ronaldo and Ten Hag, and I know it doesn't tell you a full story, but it didn't look great, the sort of body language between the two. It looked like there was a little bit of sort of a thing going on there where Ronaldo was kind of arguing with a little bit, and you're getting the impression that he isn't completely happy. I think that's pretty obvious. That maybe he doesn't want to be there, and maybe that could cause friction in the dressing room. And, we're talking about this new era and Ten Hag being the main man, as you mentioned. Is there an element of that then for you, Baggers, where you go, right, okay, maybe for the greater good, maybe for the long-term benefit, you have to move him on?
You're hoping so. Maybe you do. Maybe you have to move him on. And if there's something that can fit, that might be something you can do. But getting that money, there's talk about us tearing up his contract and letting him go for now. You can't do that when you spent so much money on him. You have to get something back for him. And I think that sending him to the right club as well, where there's no point sending him to Chelsea. I think they've distanced themselves, but that would just look bad for Ten Hag. But I think the rumours as well is that he's come in and been a complete pro when he's trained. There's never been the question about that. Ten Hag has constantly said, "I want to work with him and I want things out of him." You've got to take. I feel that you have to take that a bit at face value. And I think that, look, that game might have been him being frustrated, going, "I can't do anything," because Chong keeps giving the ball away. He played 45 minutes with Chong, who literally gave the ball away in the final third a lot of time. He might have just been frustrated.
There was that though as well, one that was it him and Ghana.
Just passing it back and forth.
Which to me didn't look great.
No, that's just that's the young lad going, "I've just got to give it to Cristiano Ronaldo." And again, not just Ten Hag, the players around him need to go, "Look, we're a team, we're all just as important, and I have to be above Cristiano Ronaldo. I have to make my decisions." Whether he huffs and puffs, puts his hands in the air. United have had players like that for years. Good teams have had players like that for years, and you've got to work with them. Yeah. And the players themselves have to take a bit of responsibility. I think we've all said this last year about Ronaldo come in and disrupted things, and he disrupted Maguire, and Rashford wasn't happy with it, and Maguire was moaning that he's more of a captain. Well, you go, all right, well, you need to win things. Yeah. Like, you can't just be going, "Oh, the guy who wants to score all the goals is making me upset." Come on.
No,
do you know? If you're going to win stuff, you've got to pull your finger out a bit.
I mean, he's a winner and he's a goal scorer, isn't he?
Nah, but
who else in our squad has those two attributes? Well, in general.
This whole thing with the percentage of goals Ronaldo scored or whatever, part and parcel in that does come with the fact that when he does play, teams do tend to be very Ronaldo centric.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah, I get that.
I think there's every chance that if Ronaldo's not here, I feel like the goals just naturally spread out a lot more anyway.
Okay.
I think that's just how it is, because everything kind of gravitates towards him. He demands every cross towards him. He demands every through ball towards him. He demands if you're through on goal and he's by side. He wants you to tap it across. Otherwise, he might throw a little bit of a soak. That's just him.
Yeah.
He wants to score the goals. He wants the limelight. He has that bit of me attitude. That's just generally how it is. So like that whole. So that's my point on the amount of goals he scored compared to everyone else kind of thing. As well as that, I'm thinking just the general kind of culture, as I've said. I think for the team to be more unified, I think it is best he does go. And United aren't going to, as I've said, aren't going anywhere extremely fast. It is going to be like a 1, 2, 3 year project when it comes to the Ten Hag thing. I think having players like Ronaldo in, he doesn't fit into that. Do you know what I mean? Because he's only going to be here at max 1 more season.
Yeah.
He doesn't really fit into this whole kind of rebuild thing of going back and building back towards the top. He's kind of, I need to win now. I'm going to basically retire. I need to be winning things. I need to be challenging. And that's not where United are at now. So I think United and Ronaldo are almost at completely different places. And that's why I feel like he should go. And I do agree with Baggers about the whole thing with if Benjamin Sesko does come in at 19 years old, that is a lot of pressure. I think if he does come in, Martial probably still starts ahead of him. Is that worrying for a lot of people? Probably. Yeah. But at least you've got like an alternative option. I'm in the ballpark of if Ronaldo does stay, I do want Sesko to be signed anyway because I think we are light in that area. Yeah. I think we're light on the right either. I don't think there's a solidified, strong forward three there as much as we think there is. No. Obviously, Alanga is very limited. Chong's not a United player. Garnacho's probably a little bit too young, but he's shown a lot of promise. And Rashford, we don't know whether he's going to recapture his form or not. So there's a lot of question marks. That could concern you about letting him go. But for the things that I've mentioned, I'd rather United actually go in the market, sign a young striker that we can kind of mould and that has quite a high ceiling, because I think that's what United needs to look towards, more of the future rather than what's the sparklest toy that we could get now and use when that's not the stage that United are at the moment. Right,
what I'm going to do is, we've heard enough from both of you. Well, almost enough. Yeah, there's a bit more to go. I'm going to give you a minute to both make your cases. So Baggers, we'll start with you. You've got 1 minute and there's going to be a timer here, so there's not going to be any kicking off or arguing. Then when I say stop, you stop. So you've got a minute to tell us why United need to keep Cristiano Ronaldo this transfer window. Off you go, son.
If United are going to win anything next season, we need Cristiano Ronaldo around. This isn't him being our main striker. This isn't him being the main man. Manchester United, he needs to be controlled by Ten Hag, told when he's being used in big games, maybe cup finals, wherever we get there. If United are going to win things next season, we need some experience in there. And if we go into next season relying on Anthony Martial and a 19-year-old, I really worry for Manchester United. Look, I've said we've all bought into this project of Ten Hag, and I think it's going to work. But there's always that short-term element with Manchester United. The press will get in on everyone's back. Everything will happen if United don't achieve trophies this year in top four. And I think if you're going to do that, you need some experience. And what better than a goal scorer in Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored us all our goals last year. Look, he's not going to score as many this year. I'm hoping it spreads out. Manager needs to look after him. Manager needs to use him well and spread the goals out. But I think we need Cristiano Ronaldo for next season.
55 seconds he did there.
I don't
know if that's good or bad. It's good that he didn't fill the minute, or it's bad. Sorry that he didn't fill the minute, or it's good that he did it.
I feel like he felt pressure, whereas I just do it, and then if I'm done, I'm done.
Right, okay. Well, in that vein, off you go, son. You've got a minute to tell us why Ronnie needs to go.
Almost the way it started. It could be short. Is Ronaldo needs to go because he doesn't want to be here. And it's generally towards the culture of us being a little bit more of a harmonious and more of a together kind of squad. I think we've seen a lot of promise with the fact that we've got young players. We've got like Ahmad, we've got Garnacho, we've got Rashford, Sancho, Martial. It is a relatively young and fluid and energetic forward line that we've got. And I think that will suit what United want to do this season under Ten Hag in terms of being a little bit more energetic, a little bit more high pressing, and a bit more of a team-orientated team. And I don't think Ronaldo necessarily fits into that. I think he upsets the apple cart. I think he's got too much of an individual attitude in terms of whether that's good or not. He might score big goals in big games on occasion. I don't know how many big games we're going to have next season. I think in terms of a rebuild and United getting back to the top progressively and eventually catching Liverpool and City, I don't think Ronaldo helps us at all in that case.
57 seconds. There you go, eh? Neither of them needed a minute, so you can make your own minds up as to whether that's good or bad, or they just ran out of steam or things to say, or they managed to keep it concise. Let us know in the comments whether you agree with Baggers that Cristiano Ronaldo needs to stay, or whether you agree with Ronaldo that it's time for Cristiano Ronaldo and Manchester United to part ways. Don't forget as well to hit like, share and subscribe. Ronnie, where can people find you?
Ronaldo Brown _98 on the Bird app.
On the Bird app, you know. And where can people find you, Mr. Bagley?
Baggers _Alex on the same Bird app.
On the same Bird app. You know where to find me on the Bird app as well. This has been the big Cristiano Ronaldo debate. Thanks for watching.